Dateline Interlagos after Bottas won the opening two races. Jasko hit back last week at Imola, and he now leads the T1 title race. Bottas won't be here tonight, so the focus is now on whether Rayo will extend his lead or whether Jasko and or Rayo could come to the fore. It's round 4:15 in Season 5 Next Gen by JL, and it comes live from the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache in Sao Paulo, Brazil. I'm Mr. Storm, joined in the commentary box tonight, as always, by Tim. It's the fourth round of this season. There's still a long way to go. Bottas obviously isn't making it tonight, as we debated in the T2 stream, obviously, Tim. It's not the end of the world, but this is a massive moment for Jasko to try and get ever closer, inching ever closer to that third successive title.
I think he could be, but I mean, we've got Bottas currently not here, but every race he did participate, he of course did win.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll see if Jasko can get the job done tonight. In the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, we had a brilliant T2 race earlier on. Marcus getting his first win of the season for Orlen F1. And interesting enough, Litwa isn't racing tonight. Instead, Camo will be taking up the reserve duties for Europol instead of Litwa, who's already used up quite a lot of his reserve appearances so far this season. We're almost ready to go for qualifying. The drivers are having a little bit of fun spamming their ticks and spamming their ready up buttons. So we could be waiting for about 25 minutes. Actually, no, we could be waiting for 25 seconds, and that's the outcome we all wanted. Only Camo and Klimek to ready up. Klimek is actually making his first appearance in T1, I believe, tonight. We've got 12 drivers out of a possible 20, and qualifying is about to begin. Who's your money on for pole position, Tim?
Honestly, it could be quite open, but I'd say Jasko if he doesn't throw it away again.
We'll see what happens. 15 corners to negotiate around an F1 classic. It's not a duel in the calendar by any extent in the imagination, but this track has so much heritage and so much history. First holding a race in F1, a non-championship race in 1972, but its first full championship race was in 1973. Emerson Fittipaldi won the first two Grand Prix. The driver that the circuit is named after, Carlos Pache, won in 1975 for Brabham. Niki Lauda and Carlos Reutemann won for Ferrari. Jacques Lafitte and René Arnoux won the final two races on this track before the race went to Rio de Janeiro for 10 years. Alain Prost won it in 1990, and then there have been an assortment of winners like Ayrton Senna, Nigel Mansell, Michael Schumacher, Giancarlo Fisichella in that crazy race in 2003, and the most recent winner in Max Verstappen in 2019 and 2023. It's been the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, not the Brazilian Grand Prix, since 2021. It's the first time we're ever racing around Brazil in an actual championship race, and just like F1, we had a non-championship race here, the Top Gear Trophy, back in the dying days of 2023, I believe it was. Am I right in saying that, Tim?
I'm not sure. You don't probably know that better than I do.
Well, the Top Gear Trophy is long gone at this stage. Hopefully we can bring back these sort of fun, goofy, non-championship races. Anyway, qualifying is underway, 17 minutes, 15 seconds to go, and the first driver out on track this weekend is Liberty Waite. And Liberty had a very, very poor T2 race, it's fair to say, Tim, and Liberty's obviously looking for a much better result in the top tier tonight.
I mean, I hope so. I mean, he's got a bit more practice during the exact race itself.
Well, he did run 25 laps and a couple of laps in qualifying, so we'll see if Liberty's experience around this track is going to pay off in A, this qualifying session, and B, in this race tonight. Hold on a minute. I may have a small problem. I will consult with you in a second, Tim.
Sure thing.
Okay, folks, we are going to have a small lobby restart. We will be back in a moment. We're back and we're live again. We had to restart the lobby due to a small problem, but that has been fixed now. We still got
Basically,
18
a
minutes of
storm skill
qualifying.
issue.
Yeah, it was my skill issue. I didn't fix the lobby settings from T2 to T1, so yeah, that's my fault. That blamed me. But we're back. We're back, and we are ready to go qualifying for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix here at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache in Sao Paulo, Brazil. I'm Mr. Storm, joined in the commentary box as always by Tim, and after we've been discussing the mortality of several prominent British figures, now is the time to go racing, and that's always fun. But first, before we go racing, it's time to go qualifying. Who's your money on tonight?
Depending, should I include or exclude a Yasko crash in qualifying?
I think that's will he crash around this track? I don't know. He could.
I'm gonna say
Let's
yes.
just leave it in as a
bins it.
hypothetical.
I'm gonna say yes, he bins it, and then we will see Ryu Zappo grabbing pole.
Okay. We have no faith in Yaska. We just see him crash every week, and now we've just.
I
got
do
no
think
faith
he
in
will
him.
win, but I do also think he will win it in qualifying.
Tim has spoken. Anyway, Bath Destroyer's first out onto the track this evening. Bath Destroyer has been berating me in chat for not believing in his team winning a race. I personally believe that that's me just being very realistic and being very unoptimistic for his team's chances of doing well. We'll see if he can prove me wrong tonight. If he does, I don't know what I'll do. I'll think of it on the fly and I will say it at some stage this evening. Anyway, this track has got so much history, as was mentioned before the last lobby was shut down. Tim, do you remember what day the circuit opened on from the T2
Nope.
stream?
Nope,
Okay,
because
so-
I talked over you so loudly, I didn't hear you.
To our T1 audience members who weren't watching the T2 stream, this circuit opened on Sunday the 12th of May 1940, which was quite a long time ago, it's fair to say. Anyway, Bath Destroyer, coming out of Junko now, is ready to start his first qualifying run for Abo JM Motorsports, and we'll see what he is able to do as he activates the DRS and puts his foot flat to the floor for the first time in this session, coming up towards the timing line to start his first lap.
Also, for the people who weren't here for tier 2 race, what are you doing?
Yeah, like, you need to watch Tier 2, it's great. Anyway, Bath Destroyer coming out of the Senna S activates the DRS for the second time on this lap, 7th gear, then rising in towards 8th, where sector split is a 17.090, so not too bad from Bath Destroyer. We'll see if that is going to be topped during the course of the session, and most likely will be, but Bath Destroyer, unless he invalidates his lap, is going to set the early benchmark. Through turn 6 of Ferradura, through turn 7, and then into the tight and twisty section of turns 8, 9, 10, 11, and I suppose you can include turn number 12 in that, through turn 9, and then coming up towards the kink of 10, and then into Bico de Paso of turn number 11. A few drivers messed that up in the T2 qualifying and race session, but no such mistake from Bath Destroyer. Coming up towards the middle sector split, it's going to be a 51.566 as he flicks it left for Junkao and then heads up the hill one more time. 4th gear, 5th gear, 6th gear, rising. A couple of yellow flags around the track. That's for cars going slowly, presumably. But here comes Bath Destroyer up towards the line. It's going to be the benchmark, the early benchmark in this session. And it is a 1 minute 8.353 to go quickest for now. Here comes Ryu Zappu in the Pemex car, sporting an Ayrton Senna tribute livery tonight. It's the first time this season Ryu will have a teammate. This time it's Balbo. But here comes Ryu. Is he immediately going to beat Bath Destroyer's time? The answer is yes. 1 minute 7.944. Next up to the line is Nexo, 1 minute 9.828. And then it's Artem Lizov who sits at 1 minute 9.190. Balbo is next. Balbo will go into second, so it's a Pemex 1-2 in the early stages of the session. As Liberty Waked goes into 5th. Couple of drivers on outlap. Suds and Moms heading up the hill.
Let's see what he can do. The American driver for the French team.
Well, we'll see what he can do up the hill one last time, coming up towards the timing line. It is a 1 minute 9.765 to put himself into 6th. Razat's in a flying lap. Razat was obviously had a pretty poor T2 race. Klimek also on an outlap. He finished on the podium in... sorry, Klimek's on a flying lap, I should say. Klimek did pretty decently in the T2 race. Camo's on an outlap, and Nikon is on a flying run now. Nikon has had an absolutely dismal start to this season. We'll see what he's able to do. Take us through his lap, Tim.
With Nikon, he's now completing the first sector, but now it's 69.
That's not too bad compared to some other drivers.
Didn't we see like a 16-0 on one of the
The
P3 time?
17-0, I'm pretty sure. Said 17-0.
17? Sure.
I think so, yeah.
I think it was a I think it was a 16-0 that you
Like, I was looking at Bath Destroyer. Yeah, 17-090, yeah, for Bath Destroyer anyway.
Oh.
I mean, maybe this was earlier on the season, maybe getting into the 15s, but seeing as they slowed the cars down the latest update, 51.385 for Nikon, the middle sector, massive kick of oversteer coming into and out of Junkai. Qualifying wasn't his strong spot last season, but here he comes up towards the timing line. We use all the road, cuts across the entrance to the pit lane, and using all the road on the inside, Nikon up to the line, goes into second position, and that is one of his best qualifying laps ever in this league. And I'm not over-exaggerating that, because he was dismal in qualifying this season and in last season's qualifying sessions too. He goes into second, his teammate Jasko's on an outlap.
Yeah, I mean, Nikon was the driver last season that you'd see like, oh, he's like somewhere halfway in between the field, and all of a sudden he'd be on the podium.
Yeah, but his race pace was incredible. So.
Yeah.
Camo's invalidated his lap in the special Senna liveried Europol car.
And
They
just
ran that
a
last
couple
week.
of corners away before he will start his flyer.
Yeah, we'll see what Jasko's able to do. It's been a very mixed season for him in qualifying. He crashed out in Australia, qualified pretty decently then, but didn't even get a chance to set a lap at Imola. Crashed out coming out of Tamburello, messed up his lap completely. So let's hope for his sake it's going to be a repeat of China, where he doesn't crash out. Up to the line he comes. What is this going to be like for the reigning and defending two-time Next Gen by JL champion? Here comes Jasko in towards the Senna S. Third gear through turn number 1. Third gear, then into 4 for the second part, and then flat out through the third as he's ready to activate the DRS and use a bit of his battery. Coming up towards the first sector split, we've seen other drivers set pretty representative lap times already at 16.911 for Jasko in the first sector split. Running slightly wide out of turn 4, then flicking it left again for INTERLAGOS as he heads up the short little straight towards Ferradura and turn number 6 and 7. Small kick of oversteer coming out of 6 won't impact him too much as he drops it down into third gear for turn 8 and then turns left for Pinheiro off turn number 9, also in third gear, through the little kink of 10 and then into Bico de Paso for turn number 11, third gear as well. Then he comes up towards the middle sector split, another massive kick of oversteer for the reigning champion. What's it going to be? At the second interval at 51.461. It's not the worst time we've seen so far. Coming up through Junka and then up towards the hill off turn number 14. DRS 150 meters away. He activates the rear slot on his rear wing one more time on this lap. Will this be enough for provisional pole position for the reigning world champion? The answer is yes! And by 2 thousandths of a second, Jasko Kirill goes to the top of the provisional timesheets with 10 minutes and 45 seconds left in this session. What a lap, Tim.
Indeed, what lap, amazing lap. As it looks to be a this race, it looks to be Pemex versus RUF.
Well, we saw it last week as well. Of course, Ryu battled Jasko for the victory at Imola. Jasko came out on top. Then will Ryu be able to spoil the party here at the Interlagos circuit? 12 drivers in the lobby tonight. All 12 have set lap times. A few of them are on flying runs at the moment. Bath Destroyer improved to third. Camo is on a flying run, I believe, but he's going to come into the pits. Artem is starting. Is Artem starting? Martin might be finishing his run. Razout is currently on a flying run as well, that is for sure. Coming in towards the middle sector split in the Chevrolet, he's 1.9 seconds down. And after a terrible T2 race, he really needs to pick up the pace in the top tier as well, Tim.
Yeah, does it pick it up a bit?
I have spotted a driver who is on a confirmed flying run, and that's Nexo, of course. Slightly wide through turn number 8. That'll, of course, impact him through turn 9. Nexo, of course, back in the league and has a massive slide coming into Bico de Paso and has invalidated his lap. So Nexo ruining his next run. 9 minutes 25 seconds to go. Jasko Kirill top of the timesheets. Ryu Zapu's second. Bath Destroyer is third. And maybe the prediction that he could win a race might not be so far-fetched whatsoever. We'll find out what happens in the next couple of moments. You're watching qualifying for race number 4 of 15 in season 5 of Next Gen by JL.
Yeah, it seems like Wild Destroyer is the only of those only not IUF or Pemex team that driver that is actually able to put them in danger.
Yeah, Nikon's on a flying run at the moment. Nikon's improving slightly in the first sector. Balbo's also going again for Pemex as well. Both Pemex and Europe are running that special Ayrton Senna tribute livery. Balbo middle sector 79 thousandths of an improvement. He's had a small mistake coming up through Junkao. Through turn 14 he comes, will activate the DRS, and he's using all the road. On the left-hand side, up towards the line he comes. Balbo will improve to 4th. Nikon might well get it back, though. He's 5/10 of a second up, but this might just be Nikon's night. Nikon's never been reliable in qualifying. He's pissed.
Why is he pitting?
Why has he done that? And he's spun in the pit lane as well, coming into it.
Why is he pitting that?
Why is he pissed? I have no idea.
He's improving a half a second there.
Well, Ryu's on a flying run. Ryu's
Yeah.
coming out of Bico de Passo and coming into Margulo up towards the middle sector split. He's 1 and a bit tenths up. You could round it up to 2 tenths though, so this should be enough to send Ryu right back to the top of the provisional timesheets. With 7 3/4 of a minute to go, activates the DRSC, comes down towards the home straight, using all of the road on the left-hand side of the track. Will it be enough for the Mexican Maestro to get back into provisional pole position? Yes, it is. A 2/10 improvement from the Mexican in the Pemex. 1 minute 7.736. Balbo will be coming into the boxes. Klimex on a flying run but not improving. Artem Lizov has improved. Liberty is not improving on his flying run either. But Ryu Zapu currently the man to beat.
As I currently do have some info on why Nikon backed off, he was I think the rear a little there in the final corner, lost half a second there, and so his lap was all gone by one small mistake in the last corner. So that's why he backed off into the pits.
Yeah, that is not very good for Nikon whatsoever, but he's got the pace, and that is the key thing. If Nikon is able to gain 5/10, goodness knows what is going to happen through the rest of this session. 6 minutes to go. Rise up and coming into the boxes. Bath Destroyer has, I think, improved by a little bit, or he's going on another flying run. I'm not sure what the timing splits are saying, but Bath Destroyer is 66 thousandths of a second off, and apparently what would be his next run. He's only around 3/10 off, actually, getting provisional pole position for Able JM. So we'll see what he's able to do. Artem, as was mentioned, is coming into the pits, and Sudsy Marmot, I believe, is also on a flying run. But we will stick with Bath Destroyer at the moment. Has a small little lockup and runs very wide because into turn 8, which will, of course, affect him through 9, through the kink of 10, and then in towards Bico de Passo off turn number 11. Numero 11. Turn 12 off Mergulho, he's backed out. It's not going to be an improvement for Bath Destroyer.
Such Marmot is now, I think, the next car to put down the lap. He puts it in P8, not too bad.
Not the worst lap, but not the best lap. I think he'll take that. He'll be happy enough with that.
He went from P9 to P8. I mean,
so we're into that. Go on, Tim.
We've seen that both Citroen drivers, they can be good. The qualifying is absolutely not that thing. They can show some race pace, but it's mostly just based on they're consistent. They consistently cut through the field, while the others make mistakes or have issues or something, and they'll just consistently go up into the points. That's basically how their season has been going so far for the French.
Well, Nikon started a new flying lap but had a massive kick of oversteer coming out of the Senna S and has backed off. So Nikon will go again with 5 minutes to go in this session. We're into that quiet period of the qualifying timing so far. Razat's on a flying run. Razat, of course, needs to have some massive improvements. It's been a pretty boring weekend from his perspective, but he's down by 7.5 in the first sector as well, so nothing going right for Razat so far.
Yeah. Reza, the only Chevrolet representative this race, and it looks Chevrolet will, unless Reza pulls something absolutely crazy off, it looks like Chevrolet will lose a lot during this race weekend.
And that's not very good for Chevrolet's Constructors' Championship hopes early on, I suppose. In this season, Nikon is coming up the hill and ready to start another flying run after his last couple have been slightly interrupted by mistakes. Here he comes though, coming right down the home straight, flying down at 323 kilometers an hour. Will use all the road on the outside, small lockup into towards turn 1, but he will hold it as he comes down towards turns number 2 and 3. Small kick of oversteer using a little bit of his battery. Activates the DRS, 6th gear, 7th gear, and then finally one last push in towards 8th. At the first sector split, Nikon is improving by 33 thousandths of a second, and we saw the pace he had in the middle sector on his last run. If he's able to capitalize on it, then this might just be a lap that could, just could, get him onto provisional pole position with 3.5 minutes to go. Through turn number 7 and then in towards number 8. Second gear through the first part of the twisty section. Third through the second, coming out towards the kink of turn 10 and then towards Bico do Passo of turn number 11. As was mentioned earlier on, many drivers have struggled through there, but no such problems for Nikon. Middle sector split is looming for the man in the RUF Telecom car, and he is 4/10ths of a second up. It wouldn't be enough for provisional pole position, but this is a brilliant effort from the man who's struggled so much in qualifying throughout his entire next-gen career, depleting all of that battery on the front straight as he activates DRS. What is it going to be for Nikon in the RUF Telecom car? P3, and he's a little bit behind his teammate, but he'll be very happy with that, Tim.
Yeah, certainly, especially since how his season is going. He's not doing great this season. I mean, he himself, he's in P9 in the standings. Well, last season he was consistently to be found in the top 5 of the standings. And now we're 3 races in and he's all the way down in 9th.
I just want to alert you to some of the teamwork that the Pemexes might be doing here, because it looks like Balba might be sacrificing a run to help Ryu with the tow. Ryu backed out of his original run, but while we wait to see what they're doing, Yasko has started potentially his final run of the session. He only needs to find around 2/10ths of a second to get back onto provisional pole position. We'll see if the reigning and defending champion can do just that. First sector split for the man in the second RUF Telecom car, 45 thousandths of a second improvement. Flicks it through 4 and then heads towards the INTERLAGOS. Turn 5, up the short straight before 6 and 7. Ferradura awaits next for the 2-time champion, then in towards turn 7. Then flick it right for turn number 8. Make sure to get it right or 9 will be compromised. He's done perfectly through there. In towards turn 9, brilliant run through there for Yasko Kirill. Small kick of oversteer, but it won't affect him too much for the kink of 10. And then down in towards Bico do Passo. Turn number 11, all done and negotiated. Then in towards 12. What's going to be like in the middle sector for Yasko Kirill? What's the improvement? He's 4.5 up, and what a lap this has been. Huge kick of oversteer out of Junka, and that might just affect him slightly. As was mentioned though, he only needs 2 and a bit tenths to improve, but he's not going to stop now. This might well just be enough for another pole lap. The first of his season. Will it be enough for Yasko? The answer is no! And he is so aggravated with himself. He's spun. And he's purposely crashed into the wall. Ryu's improving by 34 thousandths of a second. And it looks like it's going to be enough for the Mexican Maestro. The answer is no. He misses out by 4 thousandths.
He doesn't improve there.
So Camo might be able to do something, or maybe even Bath Destroy. Bath Destroy's in another run here. Camo is going to start another one. Bath Destroy's a 10.5 up in the first sector. Yes, so maybe Camo is going to pit, so Camo's session's over. So it looks like Bath Destroy's the only driver on the grid that could potentially get provisional pole position here. He said to me that Abel JM Motorsport have a great chance of maybe winning this race. I doubted him. Maybe at the end of the session I won't be doubting him anymore. He needs to find another 3/10ths in the last 2 sectors to have any chance of pole position. Small look up into Bico do Passo, but it looks like it's been a great lap for him so far. Coming through turn number 12 of Mergulio and up towards that middle sector split. He is 3/10ths of a second up, and this might just happen. Poor run through Junka, but he might get slipstream off, I believe that's Artem Lizov. It is. So Bath Destroyer might just be about to rip the record books right open, and this might be a historic moment in his next-gen career. Oh no, it's only 4th, and that poor run out of Junko.
And that seemed like a thing everyone struggled with. Everyone's improving like half a second, and they all lost it in the same corner.
Yeah, Junk has been a real problem for a lot of drivers. Sudsy Moment with a huge rear slide in towards turn 8, but he's managed to keep it so that his rest of the run through turn 9 won't be too affected. Klimek coming up towards the line. Klimek stays in 8th. Sudsy Moment and Nexo, the only drivers out in the track. Nexo has invalidated his lap, so Sudsy Moment is the only driver left on track who's actually setting a fast lap time. He's 7 thousandths of a second down in the middle sector. Decent enough run through Junka. Up the hill he comes. If he gets this right, he might be in 7th place on the grid come the race in a couple of minutes' time. Here he comes up towards the line. Last kink out of turn 15. And then up towards the line for Sudsy Moment. Is it enough to improve? No, it's not. He will remain in 9th. But Ryu Zapu, once again, on pole position. for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, and what a session it was, Tim.
Great session, great lap there from Ryan.
Absolutely. I really enjoyed that one. I really, really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, certainly, but it was great to see it. Most definitely.
Yeah. The heart's a bit pumping. The heart's pumping slightly. The blood pressure's a bit high. But Ryu Zappu has done enough. And Ryu Zappu will be starting on pole position for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix here in Interlagos, Brazil. And what a race this might be. Ryu's had success already this season. First race of the season, got pole position from Yasko. So it's the exact same front row as it was in Australia. 45 thousandths of a second separated them. It is less than a tenth this time. They fought in Imola. They fight here in Sao Paulo. Here is your grid for the 4th race of the season.
And I'm looking forward to the race itself.
Oh my. Yeah.
Seeing this
93 thousandths of a second between Ryu and Yasko Kirill as they will fight for the victory at the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Nikon, Yasko's teammate, with who's one of his best qualifying results ever in this league. He could have got pole position but messed it up in the final sector, 2.5 tenths behind in third. BAF Destroyer is 4th for Able JM Motorsports. Camo is in 5th. Look how close it is between Nikon, BAF Destroyer and Camo though, between 3rd and 5th. 6th place is Balbo in the Pemex car. Ryu's teammate Artem is 7th. Klimek, Sudsy, Marmot, Liberty round at the top 10. Next on Razard 11th from 12th. The Sao Paulo Grand Prix is live and uninterrupted, and it comes up next.
Yes, I do think this qualifying is interesting. One thing that I also noticed that was interesting is that Balbo, from being a top 4 runner at the start of qualifying, now all the way down in 6th, being beaten by both Balt Destroyer and Camo there.
Well, if you do take a look at the gaps, it is really, really close. There are 2 tenths between BAF Destroyer and Camo, and 2 tenths could mean everything in this race. So we'll see what happens with the second Pemex drive and whether he'll be able to emulate his teammate by potentially getting on the podium. This could be, and this promises to be, one of the best races of the season so far. Mr. Storm, joined the commentary box as always this evening by Tim. Here we go, my friend. You're feeling a bit anxious in the commentary box. The knees are kind of quick and the heart's beating very fast, but that means we're in for a great event, aren't we?
Surely are.
Well, let's take a look at... Oh, yeah. Let's take a look at what tyres the grid are starting on. It was a mixture of medium and soft in T2. It's a mixture of soft, medium and hard. All 3 compounds being used for the start of this race. Ryu and Yasko on differing compounds. Ryu on the softs, Yasko on the mediums. Nikon has opted for the hard compound tyres, so we could see Nikon running very long into the race should there not be a safety car. BAF Destroyer and Camo are on the softs. Balbo is on the mediums. Artem is on the hards. Klimek and Subsea Marmot on the yellow wall medium compound tyre. Liberty along with Razard on the softs. Nexo in the middle of those two on the mediums. What a great race this could be, and I am so looking forward to it. Tim, prediction for the win?
I must say, Rio Zappo's not his great qualifying his race, but it's just a bit old, and that is especially where Yasko can capitalize. So I think it will be Yasko.
We've already had a Senna tribute winner, livery tribute. Win tonight already in T2. It was Marcus for Orlen F1, and a Senna tribute livery car starts on pole position for the T1 race. Will it be Ryo? Will it be Yasko? Will it be Nikon? We know how good his race pace is. It's been great in the past. Will it be good in this race? He's weaving. I'm not sure if he's listening to us or whether he's just warming his tyres up. He's not listening to us. But if you are listening to us or watching us, thank you very much for being with us tonight. Round 4 of 15. Still a long way to go in this championship. Your support is never taken for granted. Camo is 5th. Balbo, Artem is off. Klimek, Sudsy, Marmot and Liberty round out the grid. Nexo and Razart at the very, very back. But are you ready, Tim?
I certainly am. Are you ready? So.
Absolutely, of course I am. Why wouldn't I be ready? This is such a brilliant league, and we are in for such a brilliant race. The cars lining up for one last time, all in formation. We are ready to go in Sao Paulo. It was Bottas in the opening 2 races. It was the Asco last week. We go to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 red lights here in Sao Paulo. Drive-through penalty for Bath Destroyer immediately at start. We are underway inside Paolo. Great start from Bath Destroyer, who admittedly had that drive-through penalty. He'll have the early hole shot into turn 1. Ryu will go right around his outside into turn 1. Not as much chaos as there was in the T2 race. Doesn't look like there's going to be any collisions coming through the Sen S. But Ryu Zappu leads from Bath Destroyer in second. Bath Destroyer has that drive-through penalty. Yasko's in third. Yasko to the outside of Bath Destroyer. Ryu covers the outside line coming in towards turn 4. So Yasko and Ryu, as they were, 1 and 2 through turns number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Nikon is 4th. Balbo is in 5th. Camo, Klimek, Liberty, Razout, Sudsy, Marmot, Nexo, and Artem round out the field. But it's the perfect start for the 2 men at the front, Tim.
Yeah, it certainly has been. I mean, you've got Bot Destroyer, he had a great start, but he had an illegal start.
Balbo and Nikon racing each other for P4. Nikon with a massive slide the rears, and that allows Camo to go up the inside. As Klimek's also racing Nikon, going right around the outside through turn number 12. And then in towards 13 of Junkao. What a brilliant move from Klimek there as he forced himself right around the outside of Nikon to get into 6th position. Nikon's had an absolutely terrible start. It's almost like opposite day for him. Great qualifying pace, but he's really struggled so far in the race. Lap 2 of 36. Ryu Zappu leads.
As I believe, of course, first lap not that strange as a leading car after the first lap, but Artem Lezoves is already quite a bit down, and Nikon has poor start. You could also blame that on the tire compound, and he's falling down the order now.
Well, we have a yellow flag because Nikon spun, and Nikon's dreadful season continues. Nikon now down to 12th. And Nikon, after starting third, has blown it all away. Of course, DRS enabled on this lap, so Yasko will have an immediate chance to reply to Ryu Zappu at the front of the field. Bath Destroyer has not served his drive-through penalty yet. He will have to in the next 2 laps. But look how close the front 5 are.
Certainly, yeah, and to be honest, all of those 5, I mean, Pemex and I, to be honest, would expect both.
Camo's had a spin, and I believe he's lost a bit of his front wing, so Camo's now out of that battle.
Yeah.
But we'll see what Yasko's able to do now, because Ryu's pulled out a little bit of a gap on the RUF Telecom behind him on this lap, but Yasko is gaining so much with the toe, and with a little bit of DRS, he might well have the chance to take the lead of the race. Another yellow flag for Sudsy Marmot, but Yasko will go right around the outside, will get the move done before the corner. Ryu holds on though, and there's nothing Yasko can do, but they will go to war once again, coming down towards the INTERLAGOS.
But the strain, I mean, them serving his penalty there, as both Nexo and Sudsy Marmot have been passed by Artem and Nikon.
Yeah, Artem and Nikon warring for P8 here, and Nikon under a lot of pressure from Nexo here. Nexo will dive up the inside, and Nexo makes a brilliant move on Nikon, forcing him right out to the edge of the racetrack. Nikon not yielding though. Nikon, of course, having to rebuild his race after a dreadful start. Will have the inside coming up towards the next couple of corners. Gets the move done on Nexo. Nothing the Nexo could do, and then Nikon spins, or has at least a half spin, but holds 9th position, then has another massive slide. Still holds 9th position. He's really, really struggling, Tim.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to get the hard tires warm enough.
Well, I'm not sure why he started on the hard compound tyre. Might have been the option to go long late in this race. Yasko is gaining on Ryu Zappu. We'll see if he's able to make the move, and this time make it permanent like he did slightly on the last lap. Balbo is also in this battle, and let's not forget, yeah, Ryu goes and defends the outside line. Yasko might not be too happy with that. It also allows Balbo to enter this battle, so it's 1, 2, and 3 between Ryu, between Yasko, and between Balbo. A Pemex sandwich at the front of the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
Yeah, and it will be Yasko there.
Yasko getting so close
to make a move, but doesn't get anywhere near. In the meantime, it's Camo who's back up into P4.
Klimek's been very consistent so far, I have to say.
Of course, Bot Destroyer did take his service penalty, so that's why he's all the way back down.
In 12th.
Yeah.
Look at how close Yasko is getting to Ryu in the middle sector, but because of the small bits of dirty air, he can't get closer on corner exit. But he is a lot, I have to say though, he is a bit closer than he was in the last couple of laps. We'll see if he's able to make the move as they come up towards turn number 13 off Junkao. Yasko might be able to get into the lead of the race, but has run wide, which might open the door for a hard-charging fast Balbo in the 3rd place car of Pemex. We'll see if he's able to get past Yasko, also DRS and Ryu, and it might be inevitable that Yasko gets into the lead. He does. What will Ryu do? Will he fight it? He doesn't. He will have DRS coming down in towards turns number 4 and 5. Look how close his teammate's getting to him though, Tim. What a battle this is.
Certainly has been, and I mean, Ryozapu should stay ahead, but he doesn't because he does have the tire advantage. For now.
Well, we saw in the T2 race it was an interesting strategy choice to start on the softs. Of course, it ruined Litwood's race because, of course, Marcus started on the softs and went on to the... no, did Marcus start on the softs? Yeah, he did, yeah. So it's an interesting strategy choice to start on the softs, but you have to time it right. So we'll see if Ryo's able to pull it off in this race. Yasko, of course, starting on the mediums, Balbo on the mediums as well, so the Pemexes with different strategies. The RUF Telecom cars have also massively different strategies as well.
Yes, certainly, but I think we've seen from the other race that indeed that well, of course this race is longer, 11 laps longer, but again the starting on the soft tire did seem to be the best way there, and then to switch to mediums. Here it probably, I'm not too sure actually, the hard tire in the end could work out, because I think when you do when you don't choose for a hard compound, you will have to stop twice, and if you choose for a hard compound somewhere in the race, you only have to pit once.
Not much resistance there from Yasko coming down into the center. SU Ryu is blocking both sides of the road, and they get very close, and they do come together, and that allows Balbo to get into second. Yasko's not going to be happy with that though, because Ryu's made some very aggressive defending moves tonight, Tim.
Yeah.
I think he's actually lost a bit of his front wing end place. I'm not sure, but he struggled maybe a bit for downforce coming in towards turn 6 there. We'll see if he has lost a bit of damage once we get a better camera angle, but currently it's a Pemex 1-2, and Balbo is backing Yasko up. And he dives up the inside, retaliation, slides past him, just about makes the move. This has been a fantastic race so far, twists and turns on every lap. I am not getting out of my seat for this one. What a Grand Prix this has been so far. Now Balbo is still within the DRS of Yasko, but he's now second behind his teammate. We'll see if Yasko's able to close up, coming on towards lap number 7. Ryozapu leads from Yasko in second, from Balbo in third position. And look how much Yasko is gaining in a straight line. Won't get the move done into the center S, I don't think. He doesn't, but he'll have a great chance coming down the back straight.
In the meantime, there's a big group also behind there, quite a bit back. You should look up behind Rez out. That's...
Oh, big crash, big crash, big crash!
Next is out.
Safety car deployed, and that is a massive pile-up. Artem Lizov next, so Nikon and Liberty all coming together, and we have our first safety car at the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, and I feared that was inevitable just because of the defending going on there. And we have our first retirement in Nexo.
Although recently pitting again back into the pit lane, but now switching from mediums to hards.
Camo has made the perfect strategy choice there, because he came in just as the safety car out.
Did he?
Well, I mean, he's been able to capitalize on it anyway. He is down in last position, admittedly, in 11, but we'll see what he's able to do.
He had free choice to switch up his strategy, but he was on the medium compound for 1 lap, and now he's already back on another compound here.
He's on the hards now. We'll see if Balbo decides to double stack, and that's probably the easy way to do it, because they do have a decent enough gap to Klimek in 4th position.
Double stacking here is purely luck based here, because...
Yeah, but we'll see if Balbo does. Balbo probably has to slow up a little bit before they come into the pits. Doesn't look like he's doing it, though. So it looks like...
Because they don't have the same garage box, do they?
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because somehow EA doesn't let us, like...
Choose the boxes.
Choose the boxes ourselves.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, fair enough. So Balbo won't be held up, but Ryozapu comes out from the hard compound tire, Balbo comes out of the hards, and so does Yasko Kirill. Artem Lizov takes the lead of the race because Artem Lizov has stayed out.
Artem Lizov also caused a 10-second time penalty, so... I don't know why. I mean, he can't service penalty. I think that's why he is.
But surely it'd be an easy stop to go and grab some new fresh tires.
I think he'll because he knows he has to pit soon anyway to serve his penalty. He'd rather wait out a bit.
I don't know why he would though, because that's just a position that he puts himself in that we'll eventually see him lose the lead very quickly on the restart. But he will lead us to the green flag. Ryu is second, Yasko third, Balbo fourth, as you were, except for the fact that they're not in first, second, and third anymore. They've actually dropped a place. Klimek is fifth, Razat sixth, Liberty, after being involved in that collision, is seventh. Sudsy, Marmot, and Bath Destroyer are eighth and ninth. Nikon and Camo round out the field. Camo's audacious strategy call not working. We could be getting back underway very soon here. I'd say we'll go around and overlap. We could potentially get underway at the end of this lap. You never know.
Let's see what will happen here.
This is going to be very fun indeed. One more lap under the safety car at least because of Nikon and Camo being so far back. But now that we've had a bit of time to collect our thoughts, Tim, it's been a fantastic race so far, hasn't it?
Surely has been. I mean,
Can't wait for the next act of
it
this.
is a bit of a shame what happened to Nexo though. Now Artem does pit.
I'm not sure why he's done that. That's a very, very stupid choice from Artem, who was in the lead of the race. We thought he'd lead us to the green flag, but instead decides to pit. And does serve his penalty, actually.
Oh,
So
it is allowed to serve a penalty under a safety car, apparently.
he'll be going on to the mediums, though.
Let's see how that turns out for him. We're almost 10 laps on the way now.
Nowhere near halfway yet, but it's been a fantastic race. We're nearly a third of the way through, to be fair. So Ryu will, in fact, lead us to the green flag instead of Artem Lizov, who's now at the very back of the field, and will probably he will definitely catch up. I shouldn't say probably. He definitely will catch up before the end of lap number 9. So we should be getting underway in a few moments' time. Excuse me.
It's
Just
just
looking
waiting
through.
for Artem to catch up, I guess.
Just looking through at notes. Of course, this is the first time we've raced around Interlagos in the 5-season history of this league, but we did have a non-championship race here at the end of 2023, I believe it was. So we have had a little bit of history, albeit not very serious history around this track. So this is the first time we've properly gone racing around.
I do wonder
Interlagos.
who won the Top Gear trophy. I don't remember.
I will check. I
think
will
it was
check.
Bottas who won it.
I think so. Yeah, it was Bottas. Yeah, he's got the little roll, and we will be going off safety car. No, we won't. It's a very late call from Virtual Burn Mylander, but we will be coming in. He will be coming into the pits.
Penalty. Is it 3-second time penalty? Do you know that?
Is that track limits? I'm not sure. I'll check after the restart, but Ryu Zappa will lead us to the green flag, and we will see when he is going to go. Safety car peels into the pit lane, and Ryu Zappu now has the choice on when to pull the pin, and he is away, and it's a brilliant restart from him. Yasko's slightly caught napping, but of course will use his overtake button to close up a little bit of that gap. We're back underway and racing here in Interlagos. Doesn't seem to be much chaos on the restart. Liberty and Razat racing each other for 5th position, but as you were in the front 3, Ryu from Yasko from Bulbo, Klimek is 4th, Razat 5th, Liberty 6th. Sudsy Marmot is getting very close to the back of Liberty, and Sudsy Marmot sees a gap, goes to the inside, and gets into 6th position. Bath Destroyer also sees a gap up the inside. Will he make the move? No, he doesn't, but will have a chance getting to Decida de Lago. Can't make it either. Liberty is still holding on to Sudsy Marmot's rear, but can't stay alongside as they head up through turn number 6 and turn number 7. Liberty runs slightly wide, might allow Bath Destroyer to go to the inside. Liberty defends it well. As you were at the front, though, Tim.
Yeah, the front does not too much.
Nikon's got a bit of end plate damage. I've just noticed. Nikon's got a small bit of front wing end plate damage. I'm not sure if he picked that up during the safety car or
you just missed the whole
end
end plate. You mean?
Yeah.
It's not a bit of damage. It's just the whole end plate gone.
Well, I mean, it's not massive, like massive, but it is still a bit of damage, and he has a massive rear slide. That's massive. Coming out of Junkai, and Artem gets into 10th position. DRS is re-enabled, of course, after a lap, and we'll see if Yasko is able to close once more onto the back of the Pemex of Ryu Zappu. However, Bulbo might be able to challenge once again for P2. It would be historic if the Pemex got a 1-2, though. That would be brilliant for them. We'll see if Yasko can close up to the rear of Ryu Zappu. Not closing up quick enough, but he is within 4 tenths as Camo gets past Liberty down in towards turn number 4. He also gets past Bath Destroyer as well. Bath Destroyer is also missing an end plate as well, so a lot of people may be struggling with a bit of damage. Bath Destroyer fights back, and he does make contact with Camo. That was slightly dangerous from Camo, who's now sliding across the track. And miraculously, no one's actually crashed into the back of him, but people have had to make evasive maneuvers. Very dangerous from Camo there.
Yeah, certainly. Not a very bright moment, I must say.
No. And Camo's normally a driver with a lot of racecraft, so I'm surprised at that. Ryu's actually pulled away quite a bit on this second lap of the safety car restart, but thankfully for Yasko, he will have DRS to be able to close out the gap. 7th tenths will eventually drop down to around 4 or 5 as they head on to lap number 12. We're now third of the way through the Sao Paulo Grand Prix round 4:15 in this next gen by JL season number 5, would you believe it or not? Yasko getting extremely close to the back of Ryu will not be able to make the
Nico
move.
now getting past Liberty there.
Yeah, Liberty now falling back through the field. Bath Destroyer was second and a bit behind Liberty, so we'll see if Bath Destroyer is able to close up that gap. Yasko gets within 4/10 of Ryo as they head through the Lago. Balbo is 5/10 behind Yasko, but have you noticed a little bit of random damage flying up in the air throughout the race so far?
Oh yeah, so if they hit some certain curves, it's like the graphics come out from the
Yeah.
board, from the the braking board and the advertisement boards that like the.
Yeah, the polystyrene boards have just like exploded. I'm not sure why that is. That's just pretty much just a glitch in the game.
Maybe that's the causing the spinning on the curves.
Yeah, in some of the tracks. Yeah, we're not sure what we'll be doing with that. We have the Spanish Grand Prix coming up in a few weeks, but now Ryu has got out. And Yasko no longer has DRS, so Balbo now has a brilliant chance to make it a Pemex 1-2. Will he be able to make the move on Yasko Kirill, the reigning and defending champion, at turn 1? He does hold back, and he might well be waiting until turn 4. Yasko miraculously makes it back into the DRS, then loses it again. Here comes Balbo down towards turn number 4 and 5. It does look like he's a little bit too far back. And he's actually falling back due to Yasko using a little bit of overtake. So Balbo not being able to make the move there. Klimek gets past Raz out for P4. Of course, Klimek is serving a 10-second time penalty. I'm not sure how that happened. I said I was going to check that, actually. I will check that now. That was due to a... speeding in the pit lane.
Ah, he's speeding in the pit lane. That's a shame because he's actually
That never
pretty
popped
good.
up. That never popped up on screen, though. I don't think. I never saw
I
that.
never noticed either.
No. If you did, drop it in chat, and we would be proved wrong. But Razout is within.
I
in
haven't
fourth.
checked chat in ages. I think like the
Yeah.
last time I checked chat was like the first race of the season. You know, I'm gonna be honest.
Was that the T2 or the T1 stream?
I think that's it too. Stream I checked it, but I'm not too
That's
sure.
even worse. I mean, if you look back on the chat, if you look back, actually, I will mention this because we've been getting some fantastic views, stream-wise, all throughout the season. We want to thank you all for that. We've been getting some of our best views since the start of last season, I have to say. The second most viewed live stream in the server's history and the league's history is actually the Season 4 Japanese Grand Prix. We all know what happened in that one if you're bright enough to remember it. But thank you very much for the continuous support. The views getting better and better every week. We love to see it. Raza gets past Klimek 4P number 4. Klimek now will fall down to 5th, but he's a lot further behind mathematically than he actually is on track. Yasko back within DRS.
You just go back in there. That could be interesting to see back for the lead, but it will take a bit of time, and he's almost out of it again.
Yasko is obviously struggling to keep a decent, consistent gap, though, because it has gone between 5/10 and 9/10. But he's really struggling compared to Ryu, and that's the big thing that's keeping him in front at the moment.
Yeah. He's on the same strategy as Ryu now, it seems, as well.
So is Balbo as well.
I mean, there's only two strategies right now after the safety car.
Yes, we'll see what happens in the next 22 laps of this race. But Yasko is, for his own sake, holding on quite well. We'll give him that. But again, he has to stay in DRS if he's got any chance here. But look how close Balbo is as they head down towards the Citadel Log. But look how defensive Ryu goes. Not taking any chances whatsoever as they head down towards turn 4.
Yeah, and there's some more of this flying off again.
So Yasko now within 2.5/10. Bath Destroyers finally got past Liberty. Liberty drops down in towards P10. So yet another wasted race for Liberty, it looks like, after a terrible T2 outing earlier on this evening. Second separates the front three between Ryu, Yasko and Balbo. You're watching round 4 of 15 in Season 5 of Next Gen by JL. Once again, Yasko really struggles coming out of the middle section. That's where Ryu is really able to pull out much of his advantage. But then again, the Yasko obviously has DRS, so it'll definitely help him. What do you think Yasko has to do differently, Tim?
I think I don't know, a different strategy. I'd strategize, but it's a bit too late and a bit too weird to.
If you're Ryu at the moment, or even if you're Balbo, if you're one of the Pemexes, what's going through like the team's cohesive mind at the moment? Just stick with a 1-3, or maybe Balbo push up and try to defend Yasko from Ryu? Or what's going on, do you think? Nothing apparently going
Nothing. Yeah, basically. Nah, I don't know. You tell me.
Okay, this is a new thing for me. Personally, I think you stick with the 1-3, but if you get the chance for Balbo to get past Yasko, then absolutely take it and hold him behind. If you can hold a 1-2, or if you eventually let him pass, but Ryu's got like a 3-second lead, I think it's been a fantastic 10 out of 10 performance from Pemex so far, and Yasko's had a massive moment as I say that, and Balbo goes into second. And oh my word, what a moment in this race. Balbo has got DRS too, and Balbo is now legging it. Yasko will have DRS on him, but now it's a Pemex 1-2, Tim.
And Pemex will be loving that.
Of course they would.
Fifth, but
they went through so many changes. There was real uncertainty about the history of the team. Of course, that were Ducati last season that fought for the Constructors' Championship, and now under Ryu Zappu. This team has a stable future, and this team has a stable 1-2 at the front of the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. 20 laps to go. Nearly a halfway. What a brilliant race this has been.
certainly has been. I mean, let's see how it will turn out in the end.
Crucial key for Balbo is now he has to stay within DRS, and as I say that, he's now out of DRS. But I think, yeah, he's back within DRS now, so maybe that was just Ryu doing that, or that's just Balbo with a decent bit of pace coming out of Junkai. So Yasko now on the back foot. Of course, he won the last race in Imola last Friday night. Not on for a win here, as we are within the 50% range of this race. Lap 18 to 36 in the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, and what a brilliant, fantastic, jubilant race for the Pemex team it's been so far. I think you'd rank it 10 out of 10. Like, nothing has gone massively wrong, and especially because of what happened to Balbo during qualifying. His race pace has been phenomenal, Tim.
Certainly has been. And I think he deserves a good race here.
They do. I'm very interested to see how this is going to transpire over the next 18 laps, because there is a big bit of pressure on both of the Pemexes here, because Yasko, if he senses weakness, or if he smells blood from any driver in this field, he will capitalise on it. And that's how he won him last week after going into the gravel trap at Villeneuve. He fought, and he made his way to win the race, and that is why he's a two-time champion. That's why he's edged out Bottas and Nikon and a whole load of other drivers so many times before, because he just never gives up, and he has that champion's mentality and determination.
Exactly, and I think, to be honest, that their race could show what they're made of, and that they're there to fight.
What I love about this race is that these three have been, in some form or another, just stuck with each other throughout the entire race. And now this might be a chance for Yasko to get into P2. He'll be forced to go to the inside. He will take that chance. Balbo gives him plenty of room, and Yasko Kirill sees the opportunity and gets right back into second position.
Good overtake there by Yasko. In the meantime, I've quite lost his team, but his teammate is all the way down in P8.
Yeah, Nikon has had a very, very poor race, and especially after the qualifying session he had. Klimek and Sudzi Marmot are swapping positions. We have a yellow flag. I'm not sure what that is for.
But it's gone again.
Yeah, it's back to greens, but I'm not sure what that yellow flag was actually put out for. Maybe a spin, maybe a bit of a kerfuffle going on, but we'll see. Yasko once again is in that precarious position where he can't close up on Ryu, and we have a yellow flag because this time Bath Destroyer has spun. Bath Destroyer now down to last.
Well, that is his winning chances absolutely thrown out of the bin.
Well, he said he could win this race. He's not going to win this race, as now Sudzi Marmot has had a moment coming out and up the hill. Yes, again on to the back straight, or I should say one of the front straight. It's not really back straight. But Yasko is holding on to Ryu's rear tyre, and Ryu's gearbox hanging on like an absolute demon. Biting like beavers at the moment. These three separated by less than a second. Nobody's picked up a penalty yet, and I hope I'm not jinxing them. I'm just checking how many warnings they may have. Rai's got a warning for a collision with someone, but it doesn't look like many. Yasko's actually picked up one track limit warning. But that's it. I think we're going to be fine to go to the end. Liberty's picked up a 3-second time penalty, as I say that, from multiple warnings. But these front three have been the impeccable front three.
Certainly have been. I mean, they've been just running away. If you take a look at that, since the safety car, they've built an 11-second gap.
That's incredible. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, is it 9 laps, I think?
How
Something
fast
like
these
that?
three are. And Bulba, this is one of Bulba's first appearances this season. We have a yellow flag, Bath Destroyer spun, and Bath Destroyer safety car! Oh, hello, hello. And Razau pits at the perfect time. So Bath Destroyer has lost his entire front wing by going off at turn 11, and because of that, it's caused a safety car. And just as we were mentioning how much of a gap they've pulled out, the front three now in a precarious position. Everyone else is pitting, but they haven't. Camo stays out.
And I think Clement just didn't notice on time, while Reza just about on time.
Yeah,
did.
Razau with an incredible reaction there. I was riding on board with some of them, and Razau just pulled in instinctively at the last second and made it. And I'm really interested to see how the front five are going to manage the safety car restart, because they may be dropping positions. You never know. Let's see how it transpires. Once again, Pemex will try and get in front of Yasko. Ryu has led every single lap of this race. Yasko has gotten close to overtaking him. Has got past him once or twice, but has never been able to make it stick. Bulba has been sitting quietly in third position, but Bulba has been brilliant. The Pemex is on for a 1-3. We're nearly into the final couple of laps in this race. And they pit once again. Klimek will be in 4th, Camo 5th, Razak will be 6th.
Klimek also has a 10-second time penalty served.
Yeah, Klimek was
So we'll see him
involved
drop for
in
sure,
something.
won't we?
Yeah. So Ryu gets back out in the lead of the race as was expected.
choosing soft.
Bulbo gets onto the softs. Yeah, I'm not sure why Bulbo's done that, because they're going to wear off for a while. Both Ryu and Yaska go onto the mediums. Kama gets a penalty. And Klimek serves his penalty as well. So Razout is going to go into 4th, and Razout's come out of nowhere in the only Chevrolet.
I mean, he was involved, wasn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Wait, does your graphics show the same for on Klimek as me? Yeah, he's on the Inters. Why is he on the Inters?
I am gonna fact check that. Klimek is on the intermediates. I'm not sure that. Klimek, it's not going to rain. Why are you on the intermediate? That must have been some sort of strategy mess up on his. What on earth is he doing?
Why is he on Inters?
Why?
I've never
It's
seen
dry.
it.
It's bone dry. Bone dry on the track, my friend. Idiot.
That's not
Idiotic
even-
move.
It's not even gonna rain.
I'm gonna see if
anytime
there's.
soon,
I'm
is it?
gonna see if there's an explanation behind that, because that has to be his fault.
I don't know. Could be a glitch or something. But he will.
Come on.
I mean, he's in 8th now, but surely he'll
But he's
immediately
yeah, he-
pit again and drop down to 11th.
Well, if he didn't, I'd be very surprised. What on goodness gracious me is happening? What the hell on God's green earth is actually going on in this race? It's all a 9 out of 10. And he gets a penalty!
And now he's getting another penalty. He just got rid of it as well.
Do you have a problem, sir? Do you have a serious cognitive problem
He was
going on
running
to the
in
intermediates?
5th, you know.
And now he's 10th. Camo has to serve a penalty too. Camo's actually serving his penalty.
Yeah, but Klimek just got pitted for new tires, got a another penalty, put on wrong tires. Now he's pitting again for new tires because he put on wrong tires, and now he's getting a
another
penalty
penalty.
again.
I don't understand this. I don't understand the rationale behind his thinking. I
Well-
don't.
Will he pit again to serve his penalty now, or?
Camo did it, so I don't see why he wouldn't. But then the safety car might come in.
Exactly. Although if he does time it correctly, then it won't come in. But I think it will come in at the end of this lap, so it's. too
If
late.
he hypothetically, he's not even slowed up. He's completely gone up to the back of Bath Destroyer here. So now Camo is essentially the judge, jury, and the executioner on Klimek's fate in this race with a 10-second time penalty. Camo's listening to us. Camo knows what we're talking about. Does Camo choose to end Klimek's chance of doing something in this race? Camo, give us a little weave. Safety car in this lap, it doesn't even matter. So Ryu will lead us once again to green. Very, very close to colliding with Yasko there.
Klimek, I don't know what he was doing, but Paolo also, realistically, the people on the mediums can take it to the end. No chance Paolo will make it to the end on the softs.
Well, we'll see what happens. 13 laps to go. Ryu's leaving it very, very late here. And now he goes and he pulls the pin once again. Yasko once again caught napping. Bulba's on the soft compound tire. Will have the freshest compound and the best compound for a couple of laps at least. Yasko and Ryu remain in first and second. Bulba remains in third. Nikon Liberty tussling for P number 7. Nikon should just have about got that done. Of course, Liberty has a penalty. They make contact. And they nearly go around, and they have gone around. They're both out of the race. And we have another safety car. I should say Nikon's still in the race, but he's got massive damage. Another safety car, and Bulba might just be saved here.
And so is Klimek.
What on
Klimek
earth is
got away
going
with
on?
only front wing damage, it seems, from all physical
Yeah.
damage. But
I'm not sure how Nikon has survived that, because that was just suicidal.
what? For me, it was just smoke and a pile of cars.
Yeah. Bath Destroyer's out, actually.
Yeah, he is. I didn't notice that.
Well, it said on my screen Liberty retired, and then it immediately jumped to Bath Destroyer retiring, so I'm not sure if,
Liberty
what
just
happened?
unretired, you know, his tire fell off and then it got reattached
Yeah.
because...
Yeah,
I don't know.
Liberty's tire fell off, definitely, and then his tire just came back on.
Yeah. Oh, I know, his car just got crashed out and then it got crashed in again.
You know the F1 race stars,
Hold
like
on.
mechanics.
I just noticed, you can actually get like the upper part of your front wing can actually break off if you take a look at Liberty's car.
Yeah, well, it's going to be fixed now anyway, so we'll see what happens. You remember the F1 race stars?
And a 10-second time penalty for Nikon to make it worse.
Yeah, remember back when F1 race stars, obviously, you would have the magical car repairing situation. I'm sure that's probably what's happened to Liberty there. Nikon can't serve his penalty, because obviously he's just received it. But now he changes his front wing, and will be out in last. And we might come back and serve it again. But we were racing for 3 corners I should say, and we were back under safety car conditions again. Bulba actually gets to help himself a little bit because he actually gets to mind his soft just a little bit longer under safety car. This is definitely the next gen race of all time.
Klimek did serve his penalty, but he put on old hard tires now.
Old hards.
No, 14 lap old hards.
I don't understand Klimek anymore. I really don't. I can't understand the rationale behind his thinking. Maybe that's just me. I think Nikon's going to serve his penalty again because he's taking this lap very slowly indeed. So we'll probably have around 9-10 laps of racing if we even get that.
I think he's doing it minimal speed to make sure the safety car won't come in.
Well, he's achieved that goal. Liberty's decided to pit again.
I think he didn't want the soft compound, maybe.
What is going on with people's just general thinking?
Klimek stays out on his old hards, actually. He's not gonna repit.
I think
taking these to the end.
Klimek might be in a situation where he's got old compound tires on every single one. I don't understand people's common sense sometimes, because you either go into fight or flight mode in this, and it seems like people just don't go into any of those modes. They just switch off in the cognitive space, and they just have no sense. Like, one of the unwritten rules of racing, keep your head and never give up. I suppose never give up's a good one, I suppose, for Klimek, Nikon, and Liberty at this stage. But keep the head, like.
Nikon served his penalty, I think. He's on softs now. Liberty is on new softs. Because his new softs weren't new enough.
New softs weren't new enough. Oh my god.
He did like he had softs. He came in. Now he's out on new softs. He literally just
Are
put
you-
on new softs before.
Are the 10 drivers remaining in this race honestly trying to just make me have a mental breakdown?
I
Honestly.
think so it's just I don't know. I'm very confused. Also, Bobo is still out on softs.
Bulba
Why?
might make it now, though. Bulba might make it now, though. He's got a very good chance of making it if it doesn't, because we're gonna have like 9 laps of racing, so he should probably make it. Because he's been managing his softs for like 95% of that time, so. Bath Destroyer's just sent me a video clip. I'm going to watch it. We'll see what happened. Thank you very much, Bath Destroyer.
Now I want to see it as well. But can you send it to me? I don't know if he's listening, but
He's not. He's not. So
damn.
basically, they get very close together. They're essentially going. They're essentially all 3 of them are touching each other. Oh god.
No, that okay. That
All 3 cars are touching each other.
yeah, that will get clipped. No, don't worry about it.
Though,
It will get clipped by someone. I'm sure about it. And if no one does, I will.
just put it up on the TikTok. It gets like 10,000 views. Anyway, so what happens here is that Bath Destroyer touches Oh god. Bath Destroyer touches the rear tires of both Liberty and Nikon, and then they both come together simultaneously because of it. They both go around, and then they all have a massive crash. That's essentially what's happened. We should be getting ready to go racing again. So we'll have 9 laps, hopefully, if we even get that to the end here. Virtual Burn Mylander will come into the pits, and Ryu will restart us for the 3rd time in this Grand Prix. The Mexican Maestro.
He'll be a professional at safety car restart soon.
Yeah, he's left it very late, and he's gone relatively early enough with the other restarts. We'll see if he's going to do a little bit of mixture of both. Yasko has been napping for every single one of them. What does Ryu do this time? He's waiting, he's waiting, he's waiting, he's waiting. When does he decide to go? Past the pit entrance. Still slowing down, and away they go again. Ryu Zappu, the king of restarts, the Mexican Maestro, leads us to green once more for the 3rd time in this race. 9 racing laps hopefully to go in the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Ryu leads, Yasko 2nd, Bulba 3rd, Camu and Sudsy Marmot going side by side. Sudsy Marmot cedes the place, Camu into 5th. Doesn't look like there's going to be a massive crash on this safety car restart, so we should be racing once again. Ryu leads from Yasko 2nd, Bulba in 3rd, Razout in 4th.
And my graphics says again safety car.
Really?
It still says safety car.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fantastic. Well, hopefully that'll disappear just like it did a couple of races ago. But Ryu leads still from he's about a 5/10 lead from Yasko in 2nd. Bulba is in 3rd. Razout, just like he did last time, has fallen behind again. Camo sees a gap up the inside. Camo gets into 4th, and now Camo might be in the... Just a quick notice, Camo didn't even race in T2 tonight. Like, Camo has spawned in just for T1.
And if he performed like that in T2, surely he would have easily won that race.
Well, we don't know due to obviously the benefit of not being able to predict these races, but we'll see. Ryu sets a new fastest lap. So Yasko within 5/10 and Bulba within 4/10 of Yasko in turn. So here we go again, the DRS battle once again resumes. And Ryu's had the best exit ever in this race, so he's out of the Senna S. So
And-
Yasko might be under a bit of pressure here.
Klimek all the way down in 9th, not that strange, seeing his start.
Well, that's his fault. That's his fault. I don't want to talk about Klimek ever again in it, because this is
I
just
will
messing
talk
with my
about
mind.
Klimek every chance I get now.
No!
If something happens
No.
to him, you will know.
This will forever go down in history as the race where Storm had a mental breakdown and talked about drivers touching each other. Touching their cars, not each other. Don't take that out of context.
I will look at it.
Oh god. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yasko is actually having a pretty bad lap compared to the last few ones. This is
Autumn is close.
yeah, Artem very close to the back of him. Sudsy Marmot. We'll see if he's able to use the DRS to his advantage. Of course, Sudsy Marmot also has DRS and Razout. Razout also has DRS on Camo in turn. Camo not being able to close up to the front, but look how close Bulbo is now to the rear of Yasko. He might be able to make a move, and he sets the fastest lap.
He's looking for
Dives
a
to the
move.
inside. He might make it. They do make small bit of contact. And Yaska holds on for now. Liberty and Klimek are trading positions, and Klimek and Liberty still trading positions. Liberty finally gets past. Klimek
No,
around the
doesn't.
outside, though. Yeah,
Your
Klimek
favorite
fights back.
driver does pull something impressive off seeing his tires.
Well, actually, I'm going to disprove you on that one. I don't have a favorite driver because I'm impartial. So.
No. Klimek is for now your favorite driver.
Klimek is the driver that's made me have a mental breakdown tonight.
Exactly. That's why he's your favorite.
I expect a public apology from him at the end of this one.
Artem's still close to Tsuchimano, but still not making.
Artem, I've been very impressed by Artem so far tonight. It's been an up and down race for him, but he has managed to stick with some of the quicker drivers that are in front of him, and I'm very happy for him about that. But now, Yasko might nearly be out of DRS range of Ryu. He just about holds on. But now look how close Balbo is to the back of Yasko. So here they come, once again, to start lap number 31 down the home straight. Balbo getting increasingly closer to Yasko, won't be able to get as close as he was on lap number 30 though. Gets a good outside of the Senna Esto, might be able to challenge coming down towards turn number 4 into INTERLAGOS. Can he make the move, Tim?
Both have DRS there, so I doubt it, and he doesn't.
He gets very close coming out of turn 4 and just loses a little bit of that gap through 5. The carbon fibre remnants of nothingness are still flying out of the track.
Don't think it's carbon fiber.
It's some sort of debris, like
It's
nothing.
the debris that also have like the braking boards and shit.
Hmm.
I know
It's
that. I paid
basic-
attention to it.
Yeah.
I've studied
This you have studied the polystyrene boards just exploding onto the track for the entire 2 race we've had this evening. Congratulations.
I've studied those boards because I'm professional at hitting them.
We have been racing, I believe now, for 56 laps today, and you've been noticing that for like 2 hours of racing. Congratulations, Tim. Sudsy Mama picks up a 3-second time penalty. We're now on to lap 32 at the T1 race, nearly at the end of it. Can Yaska hold on? Can Ryu hold on? Or will Yaska finally able to make that move he so gladly desires? Down towards turn 4 they come once again. Ryu followed by Yasko, followed by Balbo. The front 3 also separated by a second. This is probably
Artem
the best
making
catch
a
around.
double move there.
Artem Lizov, take a bow, my friend. What a race it's been for you. Brilliant. Fantastic. Spectacular. Magnifico. Take a bow, son. Brilliant. He's into 5th.
Oh, and Nikon's off.
Oh dear. Just as it seems that things are going up for Nikon this season and they all come crashing back.
Yeah.
Balbo is now out of DRS of Yasko, so it's a 2-way fight for the win now. Balbo's tyres are officially gone, so Yasko has no pressure coming from behind. It's a 2-way fight for the win of the Sao Paulo Grand Prix now.
And I think Jaska now being able to attack freely will help him a lot.
So will he be able to get it done? 4 laps to do it between the 2 contenders that fought last week in Imola. Ryu was denied due to penalties in that one. And now they war once again at Interlagos. What a brilliant race this has been. I've been on the edge of my seat ever since the lights went out. I hope you have been as well. Thanks very much for joining us so far this weekend, nearly at the closing stages of the T1 race. Lap 33 of 36. Tim, it's been a brilliant one.
Yes, certainly has been.
So can Yasko finally make the move he needs? Can he finally do it? Get that win, that 2nd win of the season that would extend his championship lead just a little bit more on Bottas, who hasn't been here for the last 2 Grand Prix, of course. But now Ryu seems to be extending the gap, so Ryu has a little bit left. Has he saved the best to last, him?
I think he might have. I just realized that RUF with this, it looks like RUF will get past Chevrolet as well in Constructor Championship.
Yeah, they will definitely, yeah. So once again, Yasko using DRS to help him, but he can't get past Ryu on sheer pace alone. Nikon's got another penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so Nikon's race just goes from bad to worse. It looks like he's going for the fastest lap now, which would take that point away from Bulba, who set a 1 minute 9.32 a couple of laps ago. Of course, Bulba's softs have now completely gone, but Bulba will be very happy with third position, wouldn't you think? And he was in second for a little bit as well.
Surely, and Nikon pitting now. I think Nikon will just try to snatch the fastest lap now. You just make it a qualifying session.
Yeah. So Yasko with 2 laps to do it, struggling to stay within DRS of the Mexican Maestro. Can he do it? Or will Ryu hold on for a famous first win in Next Gen by JL? Came into this league on very short notice near the end of last season for Yasko at RUF T-Mobile. Of course, Yasko came to this team during the off-season. Ryu was with Nikon. Times are now changed. Ryu now owns the Pemex team. Ryu's now the reserve for Pemex. If he were smart, he might make him driver of Pemex. But Yasko's a lot closer on this straight, and Ryu will defend all the way up to the left-hand side of the track. Down to the top of the track he goes. Still holds on. 1 and a bit temps between them, and now this is where it gets spicy. Could Yasko do it, Tim?
He is a driver who's capable of doing it, enough taking it late on, but...
And Ryu with a massive moment coming out of turn 7 there. Little bit of a twitch. And a lot of drivers have been struggling with that small kick of oversteer that's hampered a lot of tonight. Massive twitch there for Yasko. And another twitch in towards turn 11. It's now or never now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. He now has to close up, and he's barely in DRS distance.
He just about gets within DRS, so 8 temps will fall as the white flag will be shown here at INTERLAGOS. What a brilliant race it has been. Lap 36 of 36, white flag. Here we go, folks. Yasko gets so close, and this is the defining moment of this race. If he's able to get it done here, this might be the best ever wins in this league. Here they come down the first front straight. This is going to be Yasko's first chance, and maybe his only chance. Look how close he's gaining on Ryu. Ryu holds on once again as they head for turn 4. And then down towards the INTERLAGOS. Is it decided? Maybe it is. But Yasko will not yield, and Yasko will not give up. Up towards turn number 6 they go. They make contact. Yasko getting extremely close to the back of Ryu. And if Ryu's a napping, Yasko is a coming. Massive moment. They make contact again. And Yasko's chance of the win is now gone. And Ryu's done enough now, surely, Tim.
Surely done enough. And it will be another signature delivery. What a defensive and what a drive that it has been from Ryu Zapple, and in the end it came down to halfway down the last lap here.
Well, one Senna tribute livery has won tonight in the T2 tier, and now in T1 we are ready to say for the first ever time the Mexican Maestro has won a race in Next Gen by JL. Ryu Zappu wins the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Yasko crashes across the line in second. Bulba will be third. Bulba goes right into Yasko's car. Camo will be fourth. Artem finishes in fifth. A brilliant drive from him. Raz out sixth. Sudsy Mom at seventh. My favourite driver, Klimek, is eighth. Liberty will be ninth. Liberty slowing down at the line. I'm not sure why. Skids across this. And Nikon will be 10th. What on earth happened in that one? What a brilliant race. Nikon, will he get the fastest lap? That's what he was aiming for. No, he doesn't, I don't think.
I think what a race it has been.
Oh my god, what a brilliant one. I cannot understate how brilliant that was. If you missed any of that, you seriously need to manage your timing better. You really need to be here for every single lap of these races. Artem Lizov gets the game's driver of the day, but here is your podium. And for the first time, we can say that the Mexican Maestro is a Next Gen by JL race winner. After all the success he's had in other leagues, he finally comes to this league and finally wins. Maybe, just maybe, he might promote himself to become a main driver at Pemex. He could really fight for this title if he did. What a brilliant Grand Prix. And it is Ryu Zappu who comes out on top after 47 minutes, 55 seconds, 8/10 of a second. By 2 seconds, Ryu takes it from Yasko. Bulba's in third. Bulba gets the fastest up point for Pemex. Camo is fourth. Artem fifth. Razout, Sudsy, Moment, Klimek, and Liberty, along with Nikon, I should say, round out the top 10 and the finishers. Bath, Destroyer, and Nexo were our 2 DNFs. But Tim, out of 10, Wow.
Amazing race. I loved it.
Of course, like, I honestly don't know where this is going to take us in the terms of the championship battle, but by far this is the best race of the season.
Surely has
By
been.
far. Looking at the picture now, Ryu has closed up that gap. Ryu's actually, I believe, in front of Bottas now. I would suspect, because he's been on the podium in the 2 races he's been in so far, and now he's won. It was second, and first. I believe he would be in the championship lead. Or it wouldn't be the championship lead, but he would be in second, I think. Yes, he would. So Yasko, as it stands, would be on 70 points. And Ryu, as it stands, would be on 62 points, I think. If my maths is right. Of course, penalties still to apply. But hopefully, that they don't take away too much. There were a lot of big moments in terms of the overall racecraft in that race, and some moments that some drivers might be ashamed about, understandably.
Yeah.
But brilliant. Ryu wasn't listening to us, which is rare for him, because he normally does listen to our races. But we can't get him to talk, which is the very sad thing. But I feel that for once, we should go into the general voice chat, and for once, actually let Ryu talk. So we're going to do that, and we're going to get some interviews done. I don't see why he wouldn't. We're going to go into public chat, and we are, of course, going to dissect this race for a few more minutes. Well, while we're waiting for Ryu, we are going to get a quick word from Bulba. Bulba, what a race that was from you. You must be so happy.
I'm so happy, like, third ever podium in league racing. I'm so happy right now. It's where I am, I'm going to sleep happily.
Bulbo, you kept the pace with 2 of the quickest drivers in the entire league. And you did it so well, defending from the outset, defending so well when you were in front of Yasko. How happy are you that Ryu won the race and you got a podium for your team?
Like, I can't be happy anymore. Like, more happy.
Yeah.
Wow. Of
Well,
course, I'm
Bulbo,
happy for Constructors Championship.
Yeah.
And result.
Well, thank you very much, Bulbo. You go and enjoy whatever's
Thank
left of
you.
your evening, and congratulations
Thank
once
you.
again.
Have a great day, everyone.
Ryu Zapu, come up. Let me talk to you.
Hello.
How are you? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute, huh?
So, look, second in Australia, second in Imola, the win now today at Interlagos. You led every single lap of that race. You were only behind for a few moments in the early stages of the race, but you defended and you raced so well to take your first win in this league. How does it feel?
It feels amazing, honestly, and Balbo had my back the whole time, and it just it lifted the pressure off me for sure, having a teammate right behind Yasko. So it was honestly amazing, and I want to congratulate him for getting a double podium for the team.
Did it surprise you that the 3 of you essentially stayed connected to each other for 30 laps?
Yeah, I could have broken away when I initially had that 1 second gap, but then I made a mistake and he reeled back in, but it was the best that I could do with the mistake that I made.
We did have a kind of a discussion about you potentially promoting yourself to being a full-time driver. Could you see yourself doing that, and could you see yourself winning this championship?
No, I will not be promoting myself as full-time driver. I can't make the races once I go back to school. So, yeah, I'm just gonna make every race that I can until then.
Okay, fair enough. Honestly, what a race. 10 out of 10 performance from you, in my personal opinion, and congratulations once again, and enjoy The celebrations, my friend.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Thank you, Riot. I think because we overran slightly, we're gonna end it here. But from next week, I have realized that we can do grid walk from now on because actually we have this chat available to us. But thank you very much, Tim, for joining me this evening. It's been a hell of a race. Hell, 2 races.
Yeah, look at it. Great races.
So it seems that in the country where Ayrton Senna hailed from and had so much success in, not maybe on the track, he only won this track twice, but the country that he hailed from and the country that he made so proud on so many occasions, the tribute liveries dedicated to him tonight, both in T1 and in T2, did so well, with both tribute liveries in both tiers winning a race. Congratulations to Ryu Zappu and to Balbo and to Yasko for an absolutely incredible T1 race, which I think has been the best of the season, Tim, I have to say.
Yeah, surely has been.
So, honestly, what a brilliant race that was. And I hope we're in for another brilliant one next weekend. Obviously, it is the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix next Friday, and we will, of course, be live same time, same place on Next Gen by JL YouTube channel. But what a brilliant Sao Paulo Grand Prix that was. Congratulations to Ryu Zappu, and congratulations to Pemex as he achieves his first ever win in this league. We'll see you same time, same place for T2 and T1 next weekend. Thank you very much for joining us, and good night to you all. Play the outro music, Tim.